All right, we need to talk. We need to have a serious, lights-on, no-holds-barred conversation about the darkest, dirtiest secret in the modern auto industry. Because something is happening right now in our own driveways that is fundamentally changing what it means to own a car, and they're hoping you won't notice. This is a special investigation. We're going after the over-the-air thief.
You know the sales pitch, right? It's been whispered in our ears for years now. Over-the-air updates, OTA. It sounds like pure magic. They tell you your car isn't just a machine anymore. No, it's a living piece of tech, an evolving platform. You connect it to your Wi-Fi, you go to sleep, and in the morning, bam, it's faster, it's smarter, it has new features. It feels like your car got a brain transplant overnight. It's an absolutely seductive dream.
But here's the part they don't put in the commercials, the part they hide in the 50-page terms of service nobody reads. That magical digital bridge, it's a two-way street. And if they can use it to push features into your car, they have the exact same power to reach right back out and take things away. Features you paid for, capabilities you own. This convenience is not a gift. It is a Trojan horse rolled right into your garage.
So today, we're putting the auto industry on trial. This is the indictment. We're going to walk through the evidence, charge by charge, exhibit by exhibit. We're starting with a simple ransom, and we're going to end with the literal death of ownership. So let's get into it. First up, Exhibit A. Our first case is a masterclass in corporate greed, and it comes from one of the most respected names in the business, Mercedes-Benz. We're talking about their top-of-the-line, six-figure electric cars, the EQ series. You pay a fortune for one of these things, but what they don't tell you is that the price on the window sticker, that's just the down payment on the performance you thought you were buying. $1,200. A year. Let that sink in. That is the price of their Acceleration Increase subscription. It is an annual ransom note delivered to your dashboard. And for what you ask? To unlock the full power of the electric motors that are already physically installed in the car. No, you heard me right. They sell you the hardware, then charge you a yearly fee to actually use it. Okay, let's break down the sheer, mind-bending absurdity of what's happening here. On one side, you have what you bought. A $100,000 piece of German engineering with massive, powerful electric motors physically bolted to the chassis. They exist. They're there. On the other side, you have what you rent. A few lines of code. It's a software permission slip. When you get in the car, the software artificially strangles the engine. It holds it back. And the only way to unleash the power you already own is to pay them a tribute, a yearly ransom. If you stop paying, they just send a signal and digitally cripple your car again. It is extortion. And this is the question we have to keep asking. How is this legal? Seriously, if you bought a V8 Mustang and Ford remotely shut off two of the cylinders a year later and said that'll be $50 a month to turn them back on, there would be riots. They would be sued into oblivion. But because it's done with code, they call it a subscription. It's not an upgrade, it's a shakedown. And believe me, it gets even more insulting. If the Mercedes case was about pure greed, our next exhibit from BMW is about pure, unadulterated arrogance. This is what I call the hardware hostage situation. It is one of the most disrespectful things I have ever seen a company do to its own customers. So, get this. To make their assembly line cheaper and easier, BMW just builds pretty much all their cars with the heated seat hardware already installed. The expensive heating coils are woven into the fabric. The wiring harnesses are all run through the car. When you bought the car, the cost of those parts and the labor to install them was baked into your price. You are physically carrying that extra weight around every single day, which, by the way, reduces your fuel efficiency or your battery range. But the button doesn't work. The function is dead, locked behind a paywall. And there's the ransom. In some countries, it was $18 a month. A monthly fee to activate a physical object that is sitting directly underneath you. An object you already paid for. If you decide you don't want to pay 1 month or your credit card on file expires, they just reach out and turn it off again. It's like buying a house and then having to pay the builder a monthly fee to be allowed to use the light switches. It's an absolute insult. Okay, so you might be thinking this is just those greedy German luxury brands. I wish. You would be wrong. This disease has spread to the brands we're supposed to trust, the mainstream brands. And this next case, from Toyota of all places, is maybe the most fundamentally insane betrayal of them all. You see, for years, many Toyotas had this great little feature. You press the lock button on your physical key fob a few times and the car starts. Simple. Useful. But here's the critical part. This is a local, physical action. The plastic fob in your hand sends a short-range radio frequency signal, an RF signal, directly to a receiver in the car.
That's it. No internet, no cellular connection, no satellites. It's as basic as a garage door opener.
But then Toyota decided to bundle that simple physical hardware feature with their totally unrelated connected services subscription, the one for cloud navigation and all that. And the moment that subscription trial ended for owners, they sent a silent over-the-air command that killed the remote start function on the physical key fob. Let me repeat that because it's nuts. They remotely disabled a button on a piece of plastic in your pocket. This quote just nails the absurdity of it. The two things have zero to do with each other. It's a pure power play. They took a perfectly good piece of hardware that you owned, the key fob, and held it hostage to force you to pay for something completely different. It's not a business model, it's a protection racket. All right, everyone, I need you to lean in for this one, because this is where it stops being about greed and starts becoming genuinely terrifying. This is a direct assault on the concept of private property. What we're about to discuss is the systematic demolition of the used car market, and this story is all the proof you need. Just look at the timeline. It's chilling. A guy goes to a used car dealer, he buys an EV. He specifically pays thousands of dollars extra because the car's window sticker says it has the $8,000 full self-driving package, which the original owner had paid for in full. He takes it home, he's thrilled. A couple days later, he connects his new car to his home Wi-Fi for the first time. And that's the trap. The second it goes online, the automaker's servers get an alert. They run a silent audit, see the car has a new owner, and without a single warning, they send a kill command. The $8,000 feature is gone, just vanished. When he called them, the response was, "You didn't buy that feature from us, so you can't have it." This is a direct assassination of a legal principle that's over 100 years old. It's called the first sale doctrine. It's the foundation of every used market on Earth. Used books, used video games, used cars. It says that once you buy a thing, it is yours. You can resell it. But automakers are now using software licensing to argue that you never actually bought the car's brain, you just licensed it, and they claim that license evaporates the second the car is resold, forcing every single future owner to pay for the same features all over again.
We now arrive at the most sinister, the most malicious exhibit in our indictment, because this is where this practice crosses the line from greed into outright fraud and property damage. This is about car companies secretly, permanently, and maliciously degrading your car's performance to avoid paying for their own catastrophic mistakes.
So here's the playbook. An automaker discovers that some of the batteries in their older cars have a defect that could cause fires. Now, the right thing to do, the ethical thing to do, is a massive, expensive physical recall. But they don't want to do that. So instead, they deploy the Trojan horse. They push a mandatory update to thousands of cars, and they call it a routine safety and security update for software improvement. It's a lie. The real title was the Avoid a $1 Billion Recall Update. And this is what happened to the owners. They woke up one morning and their car was fundamentally worse. The secret update artificially limited how much the battery could charge, and it throttled the charging speed to a crawl. People lost 30, 40, even 50 miles of range overnight. A car that could fast charge in 40 minutes now takes over an hour and a half. The automaker literally stole the value, the utility, and the performance out of thousands of cars, shifting the cost of their mistake directly onto their customers. This analogy is perfect because it's exactly what happened. This is not optimization. This is vandalism. It is property damage on a massive scale. They permanently damaged the performance and the resale value of tens of thousands of vehicles just to protect their bottom line. And they did it silently while people were sleeping. It's criminal. So, after walking through all these exhibits, the ransom, the deadweight, the hostage-taking, the theft, the cover-up, what's the final verdict? It's simple, and it should chill you to the bone. The entire concept of vehicle ownership is dying. When a corporation can fundamentally rewrite the reality of a product you own from 1,000 miles away, you are not the owner anymore. This is the new reality they are forcing on us. You paid for the physical shell, the metal, the glass, the rubber, but the corporation maintains ownership of the brain. And with that brain, they believe they have a perpetual key to your property, the right to enter your cart at any time, for any reason, to lock a feature, to delete software, to cripple its performance. Your car is no longer a possession. It is a platform for them to endlessly extract wealth from you. You are not an owner. You are a tenant in your own car. So that's where we are. They own the brain. You only own the metal. We have to fight back. We have to demand right to repair laws and new legislation that makes it illegal for a manufacturer to remotely degrade or disable the physical hardware we've paid for. We cannot let them redefine ownership into a permanent subscription. This isn't progress. It's digital feudalism. Thanks for joining us for this investigation. Subscribe to Evolution of Wheels, join the fight, and the next time your car asks to update, you better think twice.